Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. So today I'm going to finally show you guys how I struggled to cook this jollof rice. I mean, I have not done like a big batch of jollof rice before, and considering I did it in the morning before going to work, it was challenging. And I have a colleague at work from Ghana, so she thought, let's make this fun and do like jollof war, cook jollof rice and bring to work, and let our other colleagues judge. So I said, okay, why not? Belle can do this. But did Belle do? I delivered, but I went through stress. And this is a reminder of the reason why I said I am not going to cater. I may change my mind later, but for now, it was just too much. So I'm going to show you guys, talking through the process of what went on and my mistakes, and we'll see how it goes. So let's get to it. So first of all, I prepared my broth a day before. So I went to the shop, I bought all the meat, everything I need to cook. And I was thinking, I have this, I've got this. I seasoned my meat, it was excellent. This is how I did it. So I put in a blender, ginger, garlic, onions, and some spring onion, and then blended together. And this was how it looked. So I went on to wash my meat, seasoned with food aids all-purpose seasoning, some salt, some bouillon powder. I used the chicken one, and then some bay leaves, more onion. As you can see, I love my onions. Some spring onion, thyme, pepper, and then the blended mix. I mixed everything together and then cooked on a very low heat. I transferred to the burner, the lowest burner, and cooked first before adding some water. Looking at the meat, as you can see, the meat is more bony. I love the flavor that bone broth gives to food. So I've added my water now, stir in again, and then continued cooking on a very low heat. This was like an hour or so later, and the meat was already tender and yummy. So here I started preparing for the marinade for the chicken, because of course we need soft chicken to go with the rice. So I added everything in the blender. This is ginger seeds, shallot, garlic, cardamom pods, of course the bell peppers and ginger, and then some more spring onions, lemon juice, oil, browning, Cameroon pepper for that kick, and then blended everything together to form this yummy marinade. And at this point, I was still thinking, I've got this, I'm going to show my colleague that she's got nothing on food aids. So I bought my chicken from Marks and Spencer's. I love their chicken. They are the free range ones, and the taste is quite good. So I'm poking into the chicken just to make a room for the marinade to go in. So now I'm seasoning with the salt, and then I'm adding more food aids grill mix. You can purchase any of my spices online. Just go to foodaids.co.uk. Just to mention, I did not measure any ingredients, so I don't have the exact recipe, but you can see the things I use. So now I'm pouring in the marinade, and I mixed all this together and covered and left in the fridge overnight. And again, at this point, I was telling my sisters, I've got this, I'm going to prepare, I'm going to make sure that everything goes very smoothly. I was just going with the flow, no stress. Belle doesn't like stress. I like to plan my things and I like to follow it through. But this time around, I failed. I was panicking and shitting in my pants in the morning. So here I've covered the seasoned meat and they go into the fridge. And then until preparing, this was still the day before preparing all my base. So I used a lot of paprika peppers and also some tomatoes, just to boost the volume up. And then onions. And I added as well scotch bonnet, just a little bit of spice. So here I've cleaned everything, cut the paprika peppers, ready to blend. I added a bit of water just to make blending easier. Once everything was all blended, I added to the pot and I boiled down to have a paste. I was so busy that day. So this was around 7 o'clock. So I was trying to boil down the paprika peppers and the tomato mix into a paste before I go to bed. So now I've gotten the mix to where I want it. So now this was in the morning, so I woke up as usual at 4 o'clock. I went straight to grill the chicken. So I put everything on a rack because I don't want the chicken to sit on their juice. I wanted a dry chicken, grilled chicken. So on to the next, I was making the glaze. So this was the marinade from the chicken, and I squeezed some lemon and some lime as well, and I added honey and formed a glaze. So here I added the squeezed juice into the pan with some honey, and I boiled down until I formed a syrupy glaze. So on to the next, I started cutting my onions. I used 2 onions and shallots, and of course I cook my jollof rice, or I cook normally with coconut oil. So here is adding coconut oil into the pan with some cardamom pods for fragrance, and then I added the onion. So fry the onions until they were fragrant before adding my paste. And at this point, I was thinking, yes, Belle, you have this, you have this. So once I was satisfied with the onions, then I went on to adding my paste. Just look at the colors. Can we just appreciate this color? Okay. So I usually preach not using tin tomato for your jollof rice. You can still achieve the color, but again, sometimes I do use tin tomato, so whatever works for you, but I prefer this method anyway. So here is me still frying. We need to fry our tomatoes very well so that you don't have that taste. So I seasoned the tomatoes with some bouillon powder and some all-purpose seasoning, which is the Food Ace brand all-purpose seasoning, and I continued frying. So here you can see the blaze. What was it blazing? You can see the glaze looking all temp. So now we're glazing the chicken. And at this point I was like, yes, Fel, you got it. We got it. And this was around, I think it was 6 o'clock at this point, but I was being hopeful that I'm going to be ready. And mind you, I go to work I leave my house to work at 7:45. I'm so lucky that my kids are so independent, so I don't need to worry about them. So they were all getting ready for school. So back to frying our paste, and now you can see it's already burning a little bit, which means we are nearly ready to start cooking. So I washed my rice previously, and I left it on a sieve so that the water can drain out. So now I'm adding the rice into the paste, and then stir everything together, taste for salt, and then adjust taste before adding my meat stock. So now I added the meat stock in the fridge, and it still has the oil separated, but that is also flavor for this. And mind you, when I was cooking this, I made two separate rice. So before I added my meat stock, I removed some of the rice because the manager doesn't eat is vegetarian, so I had to cook a separate one for her. So yeah, something else was cooking while I was cooking this one, and at this point I was worried whether I'm going to make it through. So at this point my anxiety kicked in. I just knew that there's no way. In my mind I thought I will not make it on time, and I hate going anywhere late, whether it's work, whether it's a familiar place. I just don't want to be there late. So at this point, I picked up my phone and I called one of my friends. He is amazing. Like, he knows me so well and he knows how to calm me down. I called him and I said, listen, I cannot do this. Of course, I told him my plan with this, and I said, at this point I can't. I was panicking. I nearly even cried. And he was like, Belle, you got this. Why don't you believe in yourself? Why are you stressing? You've got everything all going. You've got everything all going. Why are you stressing? And he was asking me, what do you need doing? What is left? And when I talked to him, I was like, Belle, I don't know why you're worrying. Why are you worrying? These are your colleagues. Even if you come late, they know that today you're making this for them. So they will not worry too much. Why are you stressed? And I kept going. I don't like going anywhere late. I don't want to be late. And at this time, it was 7 o'clock. So I was preparing my vegetables. I could have done this last night. I could have done this the night before and everything ready, but Belle likes everything prepared fresh. What is wrong with me? I feel like I like stress. Do I like stress? I don't like stress, but I feel like I like everything being done fresh. Like, I feel like if it's in the fridge, there will be more water in the salad. So yeah, this is me. I stress out a lot, especially when things are not going the way I want them to go. So back to the vegetable cutting. So nearly done with this, and I start layering my vegetables because I feel this way is easier to put them in the meal plan containers. Okay. So at this point, it was like 7:15, and everything started coming together. The chicken was looking amazing. And also I was fasting, so I didn't even test nothing. I only tested the rice to see that the salt was enough. For the chicken or the glaze, how they look, how they tasted, I did not know. I just went with my guts, knowing that Belle never fails. I deliver. So I made the salad cream as well. I mixed salad cream, some mayonnaise and some honey and lime, and I put them in individual containers ready to be packed away. And then finally, this was around 7:15, the rice finally was done, and I started mixing. At this point, oh my God, how did I get here? I could have fried my stew the night before. I could have done that. It would have reduced the cooking time by 50%. But anyway, the rice was looking amazing. The colors, I was so pleased. And I called my son to come and check for the taste. And you know that one is a foodie. And you're like, oh my God, mommy, this is good. And my daughter took this to school as well on that day. So yeah, look at the rice. Even if it doesn't taste good, the color is enough to give it 10 over 10. So yeah, I covered the rice again. I left it for like about 5 minutes before I started now portioning them. So I put this in all the individual containers, placed the chicken on it, and then packed everything. And at this point, it was 7:30, so I rushed upstairs, had my shower, packed everything in the carton, and then off to work. And guess what? I made it on time. I was there the exact time I was supposed to start work. I don't know why I was actually panicking. But I'm so grateful for friends who can calm me down. They have my friends, they are so amazing, and I call upon them anytime I am anxious. But look at the food. It was delicious. It was delicious. They really, really did appreciate it. And I enjoy doing this jollof war. And I hope we do more of this in the near future. Bye, everyone.